Hey y'all, welcome back.
It's Wednesday, so you know we're winging it. This week we are joined by our friends Chris and Chris, who have recently gone full-time, but they've done it very differently than we did. So they're going to share their story on this week's Winging It.
Yeah, you are.
No, you are. Okay, I know you know the rules of Winging It, but for those of you who are new, we set the timer on my phone. Since it's Winging It with friends, this will be 15 minutes. Talk about the topic. When the timer goes off, we wrap things up. Totally unedited, unscripted, and you get what you get. 15 minutes on the clock, and there's no telling what you're going to get. We're winging it.
Especially with these two, there's no telling what you're going to get.
Oh, you know us. I'm already going to hurl.
Okay, well first, how long have y'all been full-timers?
Gosh, what, since the 13th
6 weeks
of June.
of June. No,
Yes.
6 weeks, yeah, but June.
6 weeks, and what are y'all living in now?
What are we living in, Chris?
Oh, I got to do this. So we live in a 42-foot landmark Heartland. Newport,
That's a fifth wheel.
fifth wheel, yeah.
Yep. And so far, how do you enjoy it?
I'm enjoying it. It was rough at first, just the transition and having all the boxes and where am I going to put everything, and I'm still working on it.
Wait,
but
let's just get into the transition. So when we moved into our trailer, we moved half our house into our trailer to
Okay.
take it down south. So we only got to live in 2 chairs and a kitchen. We didn't get the rest of the trailer because it was full of boxes that was getting moved.
And
Okay,
here's
so-
something that's totally different. That's right.
Right, so you guys have a home base for your RV
We do.
that you bought before you went full-time.
a year before.
So how did that all
Yeah,
And-
well,
and where is-
we even bought it before we had our trailer, our full-time trailer.
Oh,
so
wow.
okay,
Yeah.
so you have your house at this before now. You had your house.
Mhm.
You had an RV, but not your full-time.
No, we had
Fifth
a
wheel.
travel trailer.
Yes.
Yep.
And before you have even bought what you're going to live in, your live-in rig, you bought a home base.
Yeah, and it's your fault because we were trying to find you guys, and somehow we couldn't connect, and I ran into Bill and Kathy at the RV show. So it's your fault.
And then they sold us the
And then they
place.
sold us our weekend or our house.
Well, tell them what that
Home
is.
base.
We would call it a home base.
Yeah,
Kinda.
and it is.
It is. It's for wintering, basically, so that we can travel the rest of the year. But we're not quite to the full-time travel part yet. That's the next phase.
Yeah, so we only make it, 3 or 4 times a year, but it's in a gated subdivision. It's a 55 and older community, but it's centered around RVers. RVer, full-timers that have retired, like that. So our house is 12 feet by 40 feet, but we have a 90-foot driveway with full hookups. So we pull in our trailer. Now our 1-bedroom, 1-bath living room turns into a whatever you have for an RV. We have a 1-bedroom, 1.5 bath rear living. So now you've got a 2-bedroom, 2.5 bath house.
Right.
So when you said you put all the stuff in the fifth wheel
To
that's
go
so-
to that house.
to go to that house,
It was
and-
basically like your U-Haul.
It was a U-Haul.
It was. It was. You
And-
couldn't move around it. And then, because of the pandemic,
Right.
we had to resort to working from home.
Right.
I did anyway. So I had to clear off the table and make that my desk. So basically, I could move to the table, to the sink, to the bed, and that for about 3 weeks until
Yeah.
we could take
Wow.
all that
No,
stuff down.
Couldn't use the rear couch. We had our recliners that we could use, but to watch the TV, you're doing this so you could peek around the boxes. But yeah.
So at that point, what are you thinking?
It was a little rough. I
Yeah.
was thinking, oh my.
What
did
have we
did I
done?
make
Now-
a mistake? Yeah.
So when y'all went full time, y'all are still working, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
At regular jobs. You're not.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct.
Because you drive in to town to still work, right?
Yes, yep. I work
And then you
downtown.
also drive in
Yeah.
to.
Yeah, so we can't be, unlike you guys, you get to go, like we're out here. We've got to be close to the city.
Right.
So we
At least
can't
for a
be
little
too far.
while.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for a little
But
while.
the whole idea was to offload the house, offload the stuff, and just start living this freedom that we wanted. But we have to keep the jobs for the income
Right.
and the insurance for a little bit until we can, resolve all that. But it won't be too long, and we'll be
following you guys.
yeah.
Awesome.
Now, do y'all see a scenario where maybe you can work from the road? Would your job possibly let you take it on the road?
The job that the company I'm with now, no, they would not, and nor would his.
Yeah.
All right, well, I can't
But-
do mine anyway.
But there are lots of jobs out there that you can do.
Right.
So if at some point I choose to leave this job,
Right.
there's still other things that I can do and he can do. And you were talking.
No, because I'm going to go up to the Little Red Barn, and
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to
I'm
take the
going
class.
to do the full blown.
Right, you're going to go all the way
I'm
through
going
it.
to go all the way through and get the technicians, and that'll be the very last part of it, just to make a little extra money on the side.
Yeah, and that's the National RV Training Academy
Yep.
in Athens, Texas. The courses we
But
took.
yeah.
Well, we
we
took
only
some
took
of
a
them.
couple
we
of
took
them,
the
but
first couple weeks.
he's going to take, there's like 6 or 7 classes
Yeah.
or something. What is it? Does it go through 5 weeks or something?
Yeah, was it the first 2 weeks get you to your inspector's license,
Right.
and then I think it's the next 3 or 4 weeks after that, maybe 5 after that, get you your
Full-fledged.
full-fledged mobile technician's license.
Right.
So,
Which, you know what, we have interviewed Dave that was in our class. He's the one that he has a big fifth wheel. You probably saw it where you put the smart car up on it. He's a full-fledged tech too, and he didn't do it to necessarily make money on the road. He did it so he could know how to work on his own rig and everything,
absolutely,
Yes.
and help people out along the way. And
Yep.
even without advertising, he gets people all the time. He's always working on rigs everywhere he
Well,
goes.
what he does is he's got a magnetic sign for his truck. And if he feels like he wants to make a little extra money or whatever, he'll put the sign on his truck wherever he
Oh,
is.
Yeah.
And people will see it and they'll call him.
There's always
And
someone
if he
in the
doesn't
park.
want to do that, he just
He's
doesn't
not
put the sign up.
bothered, Yeah.
So it gives him flexibility, which is nice.
Yeah, I think that's a real good thing, and there is a shortage of techs out there. So
Oh, yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean, hopefully a lot more people do it, because when you need a tech, you need a tech.
Yep.
And as full timers, y'all find out, last thing you want to do is take your house and leave it at an RV place.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
that's
can't.
a big fear of
Yeah,
mine.
you don't want to do that. We don't do that. So you need to have situations where someone can either work on your rig or you work on your own rig. And it's not an intimidating thing. It really isn't. It's not rocket science. Now the engine, like ours, that's a different story. Obviously the engine goes down, we've got to take it somewhere to have them work on the engine.
Sure.
We're not, there are mechanics out there that could probably do it, but I wouldn't recommend that. But the house part is similar things to what you had in your sticks and bricks house.
Oh yeah.
They're just in this shell.
Yep.
They're probably tougher to get to and stuff like that, but at the academy they teach you a lot of this stuff and teach you about the refrigerators, and so I think it makes a lot of sense to know your rig as well as you can.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I want to take the classes that you did.
Yes.
Because I feel like the basics are what even women should know.
Oh,
Yep,
absolutely.
I agree.
You really
I
need
think
to know the ins and outs.
Yeah, like
I
flushing
think
a black
it's really
tank.
helpful. Yeah.
Well, I mean, you never know when you're going to need to do it yourself.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. And I think that's a really, wise choice. Because, anything could happen at any time. And so it's good to be prepared. Now, you guys had a travel trailer.
We did.
You bought the fifth wheel to go full time.
We
How
did.
did you make that decision?
Well, it was.
What,
to
the
be-
travel trailer to the fifth wheel?
Yeah, how did you decide what you wanted to be your full-time rig?
Oh, yeah, I knew it couldn't be the travel trailer.
No.
Okay.
I loved the travel trailer.
A perfect
It was not
layout.
living for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
Actually, it's the same layout except for the bedroom and the
And
bathroom.
the bathroom.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a rear living island kitchen.
But that's not what we set out to get to live in full time.
Well, we had to bring this up, didn't we? We had a 4007 Cyclone toy hauler. That's my dream.
Yeah. And a golf cart to
And a
go
golf
in
cart.
it. And
And
a
we have a
canoe.
golf cart. Well, we did.
A golf cart
And a
that
canoe.
Chris rebuilt, by the way.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
And-
Yeah, from the ground up.
Yeah.
And,
He's very
and a canoe.
proud.
And
Yeah.
2 bicycles.
Yep.
Yep.
So they were gonna get a fifth wheel until the
Well,
last
they were going to get a toy hauler.
toy hauler, excuse me,
Yeah.
until like the last.
And then it was
minute.
The last day. The day before.
So you went to look again one final time.
But before we went to send the paperwork.
Because he was so in love with this thing.
Well, you liked it too.
I did, but
Yeah.
I didn't have to go see it again.
No.
And
And then we looked at some others. And that was the end. That's how we ended up in our Newport.
and
We love
with
it,
no
though.
golf cart though.
No golf cart.
Yeah.
Temporary.
The in-laws have it though. So we have a good agreement with them.
Yeah, they got a
Yeah.
good agreement with it.
Yeah.
We talked about
Yeah,
it.
you got
We got a real
They
good
may
agreement.
see that golf cart again.
Yeah, we'll see it again. I'm sure. So yeah, so it's that's how we ended up. You know, sometimes it's better to please, be happy yourself, but please the other half more, and have a happy life
That's
because
a
you
wise
have
man.
a happy wife.
Are you listening to this?
Whatever.
Hey, that's really.
You liked it too.
I did, but I gave up the toy hauler for your landmark. I'm sticking to it.
No regrets. No regrets.
Oh, I don't have any regrets.
Okay.
I got to
So
tell
now,
you.
hold
Go
on.
ahead.
So now you've got the fifth wheel. You've been living in it now for 6 weeks. You've got your home base.
Yep,
In the future, right now, you're kind of sticking close to Houston for work.
yep.
So in the future, when that kind of wraps up, what's your plan? How
Following
do you
you.
see it?
I figure if we follow you guys, we can't go wrong.
Nope.
See?
No
Well,
pressure.
Texas,
No pressure at all.
Texas is huge, and there's so much here for us
Yeah.
to see. And so while we're still local, we do want to get out and see a lot of Texas.
Right.
Then when we're not having to work anymore, we can get out and see the rest of the country. But,
Yeah, and
there's places he hasn't been, like Carlsbad,
Oh yeah.
yeah. See, there's a lot.
Oh,
I'm not. Yeah.
Grand Canyon. I mean,
I've
there's-
been out to the east.
and the forests. And,
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh, but there's another piece to the puzzle that we haven't mentioned here.
Oh, what's that?
Y'all are Thousand Trails members,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yes.
We're Thousand Trails members. So, and that's what we're staying in Conroe right now. So it just makes it easier for us to travel and stay, 2 weeks or 3 weeks, and we can bounce from resort to resort to resort without having to stay out. Here
y'all-
here we have to stay out 7 days because they have one in Columbus, a Thousand Trails. That's too far to drive. And we can stay here 21 days, go to Columbus, stay 21 days, and just go back and forth. Columbus is just too far to drive.
Yeah.
So
So do y'all have the full-blown membership, or do you just have a zone or
maybe
2 zones?
we did the zones,
You did
Okay.
the zones?
and then we actually enjoy the Conroe one so much that when we decided to go full time, we just had a deal we couldn't pass up. I think is probably the way.
Yeah,
for-
initially we bought one zone.
Yeah,
Okay.
and because we're a 50 amp, it costs it's $3. I mean, you
Right.
still got to pay your yearly dues, but
Right.
for $3 a night, you're literally staying for $10 a night. Really, when you break everything down.
Yeah,
or
so in
less
y'all's
over the
scenario,
year.
it
Per-
seems like a
per-
no-brainer.
Yeah.
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 So, and
But then we were offered the big package.
yeah, the big package at a good price, so we took it.
We
Okay.
invested
And
in
we
that.
figured we're going up the West Coast and the East Coast. They really don't have anything in the Midwest,
Right.
In South Dakota, North Dakota, Wyoming, in that area.
Right.
But we've got plans for that too, like
So-
maybe working.
So then
Yeah.
once you, now what is the dues on the big one the same as the dues if you had like
Once
one
you-
or 2 zones?
Yeah, once you pay up front, the big amount up front, then your yearly dues. Ours didn't change.
Okay.
Our yearly due was the same as the same
same
as
dues as just
as
buying
the
one
zone
zone.
pass.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, so see,
Okay.
now that it's paid,
Yeah.
awesome deal, and you've got it for life as long as you pay dues, right?
Yeah, and the nice thing is that we're still working. And so we were able to pay everything off.
Okay,
You know, we didn't have to finance the big amount.
that's awesome.
So, you know, it makes it a little easier for us.
Yeah. So and here we get another truck coming by, but we're winging it.
Not as
Yeah.
loud.
Not as loud. So as full-time RVers now, what has been, I guess, y'all's biggest challenge in that whole process? What was the most difficult thing for you?
Yeah, what's yours? I know what mine is.
You mean once we moved into the rig?
Anywhere
Just
in the process.
Anywhere in the process.
You got to try and get between the island and the stove together, and crisscross paths, or trying to crisscross paths in the front of the bed. I've got my own bathroom, although it's this big, but the shower's in her bathroom. So trying to move around, that's my biggest challenge. But we got through that.
Yeah, I don't think I have any big challenges in there. It's hard working from there. You know,
Yeah.
I guess that's my biggest challenge. I'm adapting. I was used to working from home in a big house. You know,
With blazing fast
only
internet.
during the
Right.
pandemic. Yeah.
Right.
And yeah, I guess the Wi-Fi is probably my biggest challenge
Yeah.
because I keep losing connection, and I do so much of my work online.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so our 15 minutes are up, but
Our 15 minutes of
by.
fame.
it flew by. But are you going to blog on the road? Are you going to vlog on the road? Do you have a handle that people can follow your journeys?
Not yet. It's been talked about, and we do Facebook Lives.
Yeah,
and
so-
we'll do a
Okay.
Facebook. I know we're going to do one tomorrow, probably about this subject, so we can get some of our friends more views.
We were doing
So,
them for a while.
yeah.
Well, what's
and then
your-
we kind of got busy with the house and the transition and all, so we haven't really been on top
How
of
do
that,
they
but
find
we
you
get
on
back.
Facebook?
Facebook, it's just Chris Clement.
Okay,
and then
it's just
it's
your
Chris
personal
Bunder Clement. It's
Facebook.
just us, yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to eventually put one tripping with the Chris's.
Okay. So
Right.
watch for Tripping with the Chris's.
And
So
we'll let
eventually
you
that'll go
know
on
when that comes
Facebook
out.
and-
Yeah.
I
and
mean, they
that'll-
need to set that up sooner rather
Yeah.
than later.
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
yeah, we need to
We
get
do.
going
and
on that.
Who knows? Maybe YouTube will come later on with that as well. So
I got
there
to
you
tell
go.
you, if you haven't already noticed, I mean, these two, they are hilarious. These are two of the funniest people. And I first was online with Chris and got to know Chris.
Which
this
Chris?
And
Bob?
then
it's Bob today.
it's Bob today. And then I connected with his wife Chris, and she's funnier than he is. I'm here to tell you.
See?
On Facebook. Oh yeah, she's incredible.
Yeah. So she puts out little whippets in the morning.
Oh, she does.
They're
It's
that are
awesome.
funny. So Chris Bunder and Clement, find her on Facebook and watch her little whippets that come out in the
Yeah,
morning.
they are funny. They are funny.
It is funny, yes.
Yep.
So thank y'all.
Thank
Yeah.
you guys,
Joining
man. It's been a
us.
blast.
Thank you for sitting down. I'm
enjoyed
sure you'll
it.
see them again
Oh,
in a
yeah.
future video because we're going to do some camping together here
Oh.
and there.
Yeah,
Man,
got
Playing
to.
on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
well, that's because we're following them everywhere they go now.
Oh, yeah. We're gonna start.
Where are they? Where are they? So, and they're in our
They are.
RV in Texas, so
Yeah.
another way you can find them.
Yeah.
So until next time, y'all, keep on winging it. You never know who's going to pop up. And we'll see y'all on Sunday. Safe travels.
And happy camping.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.